Guys, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to talk you through how you can eat healthy whilst on a budget. In case you're new here and you don't know who I am and you've stumbled across this video, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Doug. I'm an online personal trainer and a nutritionist, and I have been doing this for the last 5 years, both creating content and also helping primarily guys to look and to feel their best, whether that's to lose body fat, whether that's to build muscle, or whether that's just to feel better in their body and to take back control of their health. So let's get straight into this subject, because I think this is probably one of the most commonly held misconceptions in the sort of health space, that eating healthily is a privilege, that is something that the rich can do. It's very expensive. And honestly, I'm here to tell you that is not the case. However, what is expensive is the food that has been marketed to you as healthy. So let me explain what I mean by that. For example, the low fat options, or the high protein options, or the superfood options, or the organic options, or even the fresh options. What all of these are is the same product packaged in a different way. And that packaging is the marketing. So effectively, they are basically just all marketing schemes. And a lot of them are designed quite nefariously to guilt trip you into buying them. For example, there is no such thing as a superfood. That was quite literally made up, I think, maybe 10, 15, maybe even 20 years ago. Low fat options. So what low fat means is basically they've either reduced or removed the fat entirely, but what most of these companies do is they just increase the carbohydrates and increase the sugars with those carbohydrates to sweeten the product so that you actually think it tastes just as nice, right? High protein. So the rules around high protein products are pretty loose. My understanding is that all these food companies has to do is put at least 1 extra gram of protein in versus the original variation of that product, right? So you're being marketed something that is high protein, but it might have been like 1 gram and now they've put 2 grams in and they're saying it's high protein. So, and then let's look at organic. Organic, do you really think that the products that they are saying they are giving you are organic? No. So guys, a lot of these things, they are just the same products repackaged. Even if you really want to go down the rabbit hole on this, branded food. Because a lot of the time, let's take I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to get any trouble with any of these companies or supermarkets, but let's say a very big supermarket and they're selling their own branded cereal, for example, and it sits literally on the shelf next to the branded cereal. And for all intents and purposes, they look the same, they probably even taste the same, but the price difference is like, the branded one is 50% more. The fact of the matter is, quite literally, they are the same product, guys. What these supermarkets do is they effectively license the food company to make it for them on their behalf, and then they just sell it. So, a lot of the time people are saying like, oh, but this is so much cheaper, but it doesn't taste as good, or it's the worst ingredients. It's the same stuff. So, okay, so we've kind of got a few of the sort of myths out the way. The other thing we have to look at is what actually is healthy? Because I think a lot of the time, people think eating healthy is expensive because they don't necessarily understand what healthy is. They think everything has to be fresh. So it has to be fresh meat or fresh fruit or fresh fish, or you have to go to the butchers or something like this. And of course, there are probably some marginal gains in fresh produce. I'm not here to argue that. But they are honestly, for the most part, they are marginal gains. The major gains are actually in understanding what a healthy diet is. So what is a healthy diet? A healthy diet is a balanced diet. It's a balanced, omnivorous diet. It's a diet that contains all of the 3 macronutrients: your carbohydrates, your protein, and your fats. Because the fact of the matter is, they all provide your body and your brain with benefits. They are all required for you to operate at maximum efficiency and ultimately for you to feel your best. You also want to make sure, like I said, that you are omnivorous, so that you are getting animal products and plant-based products. You'll see a lot of people who will be sat in the vegan camp, or you'll see other people who are sat in the carnivore camp, and they become quite charlatan zealot type around their camps because they swear that this diet is the thing that's made the most difference to them. What you tend to find when someone has chosen a tribe, which is effectively what they're doing, and they've gone down the road of a relatively extreme diet, they've also made other health conscious decisions. So someone who makes the conscious decision to, you know what, I always pick on the vegans, so let's pick on the carnivores. Then let's say there's someone who's made a conscious decision to go on the carnivore diet. I very much doubt you'd be the exception, not the rule, if this was you, that the only change you've made in your diet, in your life, is to go on that carnivore diet. What's far more likely is you've gone on the carnivore diet, but you've also started to be more conscious around how much water you take in, how your training looks, how many times a week you're training, whether you're doing cardio, what your step count looks like. You're probably paying more attention to your relationships, to your steps, to the social media content you consume, all of this stuff. It's very rare that people make these big life-altering decisions in isolation. No one just wakes up one day, makes one decision and one change, and that's it. It tends to be that we make sweeping changes. As human beings, we're kind of designed that way, okay? So the fact of the matter is neither of these extreme diets, because they are extreme diets because they're very restrictive, they remove entire food groups, both ends of the spectrum, are particularly, in my opinion, healthy. And this is based on evidence-based, science-backed studies, okay? Not just my own opinion as well. But, so what you want? So you want a balanced diet, all the macronutrients, you want it to be omnivorous, so plant and animal-based, and you want it to be calorie controlled. That's probably the most important bit, to be honest. You want it to be calorie controlled relative to your maintenance calories. And if you're not sure how to calculate your maintenance calories or what your maintenance calories are, I'll give you a very whistle-stop tour of it. So your maintenance calories is the number of calories that you burn in any single day based on your physiology and your lifestyle. So it's based on your age, your weight, your height, and your sex, and then how active you are as well, okay? The very simple way to calculate your maintenance calories, it's a bit of a rough and ready equation, but I've used it on other videos, so I'll use it the same. I want to stay consistent, is to take your body weight in pounds and multiply it by 15, okay? So that's your maintenance calories. That's just if you wanted to stay the same, which is absolutely fine, by the way. A lot of people say, no, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. Staying the same, being on your maintenance calories is absolutely fine. In fact, for a lot of people, it's probably the best course of action if you just want to perform at your best, okay? So if you want to lose body fat, you want to be in a calorie deficit, so consuming fewer calories. If you want to be gaining muscle, you want to be in a small controlled calorie surplus. So like no more than 10% above your maintenance calories, okay? So those are the things that you want to do. That is a healthy diet. And when you look at it, a healthy diet through that lens, in that frame, you start to hopefully realize that actually it doesn't have to be expensive, okay? But what I want to do is give you some actionable tips that you can take away today so that you can eat more healthy and on a budget and save money, okay? So these are going to come thick and fast. I've got them written down, and then we're going to wrap the video up there. So first and foremost, buy frozen fruit and veg rather than fresh stuff, okay? And again, the reason being here, I'm not going to argue that fresh products are slightly better, but the key word there is slightly. You're not going to see a noticeable difference unless you're already doing absolutely everything else right. You're not going to see a noticeable difference changing from frozen fruit and veg to fresh fruit and veg. What I would rather someone do is feel like they've got the financial means to have more fruit and veg in their diet, because most people aren't getting enough fruit and veg in their diet, okay? And they think, oh, but that's because it's fresh and that's because it's expensive. It's not. If you go to these supermarkets and buy frozen fruit and frozen veg, you'll find it actually very, very, very good value. I do this to this day every single week. Honestly, I used to be that person who would buy fresh fruit, fresh veg. Back when I lived in the UK, I was spending nearly £5 a day. So I understand why people say that it is expensive to buy fruit and veg, but only if you are buying it fresh. So buy it frozen, store it in your store it in your freezer. It's going to last for ages, and it goes a lot longer way as well. Secondly, I've kind of already touched on this one, but buy supermarket own brand products, because like I said, who do you think makes these products? Do you think it's a coincidence that they are sat next to them on the shelf? Do you think it's a coincidence that they look the same, they taste the same, all of this stuff? No, it's the same companies making these products. Next up, because I've now told you about that carbohydrates play an important role in your diet. They're our primary source of fuel of energy. What I want you to do is bulk buy starchy carbs like rice and like potatoes. All supermarkets, you can go in and you can buy rice by like the kilo. You know those like massive sort of things. If you're really trying to eat on a budget, guys, then this is what you want to be doing, okay? Next up, buy and freeze your meat, okay? And another great hack here as well is you can buy meat that is in the reduced section and then freeze it, and it's gonna last a lot longer. Same goes with fish as well. So it's not just meat, it's fish as well. Next up, plan your meals and then cook in bulk. So if I really wanted to piece all of this together, what I would do, I wouldn't even go to the supermarket. I would shop for my food online if that was an option to me, which if you're in the US, if you're in the UK, it's going to be an option for you. And there's a few great advantages to this. If you shop online, you are saving time and you are saving money, because you're saving the time of having to go to the supermarket. You're saving the money because you're not having to spend money getting there, whether that's public transport or whether that's your own car, your petrol, because they bring it to you. They deliver it to you at a time that is convenient to you. And I know you're gonna say, yeah, but there's a delivery price. There is, but there's two ways around this. Well, there's two ways to look at this. First of all, you can pay for monthly delivery and it costs like, well, the last time I did it, it was like £8 a month. It's probably gone up. But even if it's gone up, it doesn't really matter, because if you're doing one of these shops once a week, it's going to save you. So I'm gonna call, sorry, 2 seconds. There we go. Thank God it didn't stop the video. If you do this every single week, it is going to save you so much money, because it's gonna cost you like £2 per delivery. The other thing you have to realize is because you're buying online, you're actually getting the cheapest prices of these products and you're getting the best deals. The website actually recommends you the deals, so you're not having to go looking for them in the supermarket. It literally puts them front and center in front of you, okay? So you're getting the best deals and you're getting the cheapest prices because you're buying from the biggest supermarkets who sell at the cheapest rate. For example, and I can use this as an example, I can name them as well, just because it's in the top of my head. If you go to Tesco in the United Kingdom, right? You go to Tesco Express or Metro. I'm not sure which one's the more expensive one, but Tesco have like 3 or 4 different like types of store, right? They have like Tesco Extra, which is the huge out of town stores, which are like massive, and they sell clothes and they sell everything. And then they have like the Tesco Metro or Express, which is like tiny little ones. They also have petrol stations, I believe, as well. And the price difference of the same product will be like 30% different, I believe. So you are buying, when you shop online, you are buying from the Tesco Extra. So you're getting the cheaper price. So the money that you're spending on delivery, you are making up for because you're getting the cheaper, you're paying the cheaper price for the same product. And like I say, you pay monthly delivery, you're gonna save money anyway. And just another tip, it's not gonna save you money, but it's gonna save you more time. Once you've done this once and you've kind of built your basket, the website remembers what you've bought, and we're very habitual creatures. We eat the same things more often than not. So you can go on that website the next time and you can literally just go add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, buy. And the next time you do it, it takes 5 minutes. So it's saving you a ton of time. And also, let's be honest, supermarkets are pretty stressful and triggering places for a lot of people. You know, you go there more often than not. When do you go to the supermarket? You go to the supermarket when you're hungry. And you end up coming out and you make a lot of emotional decisions when you're in the supermarket. And you come out with stuff that you never even really wanted. And you're like, oh, now I've wasted money and now I'm gonna have to eat this stuff and it's not healthy because it's full of empty calories as well, okay? So that's a huge hack actually. And then like I say, if you're doing a weekly shop, the beauty of this is, guys, if you now understand, if you're looking at health and healthy eating through the lens that I've given you around being in a calorie controlled diet, omnivorous and balanced with all the macronutrients, you can now hopefully start to put together some simple but cheap and healthy meals. Easy examples that I can think of straight off the top of my head. Mince with rice and some peas, for example, with eggs on top. I have that all the time. Chicken, broccoli, and rice. The standard bodybuilder, right? But it's good. You get some sauce on, you're all loving it, right? So guys, I really hope this video has helped. Eating healthily is not expensive. And I really, really understand why people have the conception and perception that it is. But more often than not, it is because you are being marketed to that the foods that are healthy are expensive. And this is because ultimately, let's be real, I don't necessarily think these food companies are evil, but they are trying to make money. They are trying to make profit. And you are the consumer. So you are the person they are trying to make profit from. So I'll leave it there. I hope this has been useful. If it has, like the video, leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, and drop me a message or actually just leave a comment if you want any help when it comes to online coaching as well, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.